I think a lot of brands make a mistake. They want to sit and wait. There's a lot of indecision. I had a mentor that told me a bad decision is better than no decision. And then what a lot of brands see when they adopt early, if it doesn't work, they don't want to continue to test every 6, 9, 12 months. It didn't work once, close the book, move on, never look at that channel. So when Whatnot and live streaming started to happen, it really intrigued me because I believe that might be the new age QVC.
CPMs and CACs, regardless, they keep going up for everybody, right? Every year you look at year over year on Meta, CPMs are up, CACs are up. Like it is the way platform operates, which is brutal. But, for us, the organic is our top of funnel, and traditional ads, even if we're making campaigns that are prospecting, end up being middle of funnel.
Welcome to the ASOM Pod, where we talk a lot. Ecom is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop. Amir from the agency and Jimmy from SaaS. John has an Android, but give him a pass, cause he's an operator building brands like a carpenter. And that's Brian, he is the marketer. Like I said, this the ASOM Pod, where we talk a lot. Ecom is the path that we walk a lot. From 4 point of views when we're talking shop.
All right. We are going to continue on here. Excited. How's lunch, guys? Yeah, good. How's dessert? Good. I see a lot of people munching right now, so their mouth's full. But guys, one of the big things that when we put this event together, one of the things we care a lot about is the food. So we hope you appreciate the food. We want to make sure that you guys don't want to leave and you enjoy the food, and we really put a lot of effort into it. So excited about this. Yeah. Thank you. So food was good. All right, cool. Well, today we're excited post-food coma to have a little podcast show. So for many of those that do not know, we run a podcast called ASOM. ASOM is a pod about perspective. It stands for Agency SaaS Operator Marketer. It's called ASOM. So you can check us out. We're found on YouTube and Spotify, Apple, and all these great places. And today we are going to do something a little bit fun and different. We call this eCommerce Tinder, swipe right or left. And we've got a little presentation to do at the same time. We're going to do it. But first, I want to start off by introducing the people on the stage here and the podcast host that I work with every day. So we'll start off with Mr. John Roman. He's the Android-loving survival king. He's the CEO and co-founder of BattleBox, one of the leading outdoor survival subscription companies in the market. To his right over there, we've got Amir Grosnich. He's the Prince of Bosnia. He's the mayor of Chicago. He's also the CEO of Perella, which is a leading Shopify Plus development company. We've also got Brian McDonald, self-proclaimed funniest dude on LinkedIn. So if you guys want some good laughs, follow this guy over here. And he's also the king of meats. But in his real life, he is the director of e-commerce at Almost Pride, the most expensive but best raw food.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive, but it's probably the best premium dog food. So if you love your dogs like I do, you can spend thousands of dollars a month with him like I do. So I do it, and my dogs love it, and they're healthy and they're older. So, a little conversion.
Is it $1,000 a month?
Jimmy's got 45 dogs. He's got a kennel.
I've got 3 dogs.
He's acting like he's got a golden at home.
They're big dogs, so it's okay. And I want to feed them well, and they're older, and they got to be good. So, and my name is Jimmy Kim. For those that don't know me, obviously, Commerce Roundtable is presented by myself and Nick Shackelford and my entire team. But outside of that, I do podcasts, I do content, and I talk a lot about email in this market. All right, today we are going to kick this thing off with eCommerce Tinder, swipe right or left. And what we're going to do is show a series of different things, and we're going to show you, we want to get an audience perspective of which way they would swipe, right being yes, no being left, for those that are too old to understand what Tinder is, like myself, because I was too old for this, but those in the younger audience will probably get this real quick. So let's kick this thing off. And we're going to start it off with the conversation of social commerce. All right, swipe right, raise your hand. No one says yes to it. Okay. Swipe left if you say no to it. All right. We've got some people saying no. All right, hosts, what do you guys think? Social commerce, we're talking about not just TikTok shop. We're talking about live shopping, which we believe is a lot of the future generation. I'll start with you, Brian. What do you think, man?
So I was actually going to start with John, because John, actually, we were just watching him yesterday on Whatnot. And I think this is a really good segue for you to discuss sort of your growth on TikTok shop, and then also leveraging a channel that live shopping wise, for those folks that aren't familiar with Whatnot, it started off during COVID, right? Card breakers that you saw online would essentially start these lives, and you pay into it. They do a card break and they ship you the cards. And then that platform is now shifted, and other products and channels are now being offered on it. So John at BattleBox is running a test, and I was in the room watching it with you yesterday, and I thought it was the coolest. I don't know. To me, it was the coolest thing to experience, watching a brand test a new channel on live shopping. So how's that been going?
Yeah, so we just tested it for the first time last Thursday, and now this week we ran one on Tuesday and one on Thursday. And, my only familiarity with Whatnot was from sports cards. I know there's some other genres on there, but I wasn't necessarily sure there was going to be, outdoor gear there. And the reality is there's multiple channels there. And it's a pretty cool platform, integrates with our Shopify, integrates with the tools we need to. Yesterday when we were watching, we averaged $3,000 a year, an hour, $3,000 an hour in revenue, which is, I was surprised.
I mean, you have not even 800 followers on it. You started it,
and it's a little bit different than your traditional social commerce. TikTok Shop is the one everyone knows best. It's an auction style. So, we're doing some calculations determining what our starting bid price is. Some brands are starting at $1. We're baking in some margin to ensure that it's profitable for us. But we ran yesterday 3 hours, $3,000 an hour, so a little over $9,000 in revenue. Ran not our most optimal margin, but ran at about a 40% margin when everything was said and done with fees and shipping, etc. So it's exciting, right? It's how do you scale it, right? It's to make it meaningful. And our definition of meaningful as a sales channel needs to be at least $1 million in annual revenue, where it's not necessarily worth the time, but it's at $3,000 an hour. You can get to $1 million fairly quickly.
We did a math on it. We're like, okay, you got 3,000 an hour, you got 40 hours a week, you get someone full time just pumping it and doing live selling all day.
Yeah.
I mean, you start piling up pretty quickly to a 7-figure business right off that thing. Creates a new channel for you. Are you guys going to be looking at it on TikTok too?
Yeah, so we've been doing TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop is a 7-figure channel for us. We're doing low 6 figures a month right now, but we're continuing to scale it. The reality is, and you've given it a hard time in the past, rightfully so. It's a different type of channel. It's a different type of buyer. One of the speakers earlier was talking about the importance of being profitable on a channel and not just, TikTok Shop's great because you do get people then go to your site directly, and people do go to Amazon and purchase, and there is that rise from that, but you've got to be profitable on the channel. For us, on our site, average order value is about $140. If you look at Whatnot, it's right now a little bit under 100, but on TikTok Shop, it's average order value is $21. That's not, you got to sell a lot of $21 items to get into 6 figures and $1 million. So it's a different channel, right? So I think different product sets and just seeing how it's scalable, but they're not all the same.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that I think the data shows that the fastest growing demographic right now on TikTok is that 35 to 45-year-old. And you, Brian, selling very expensive dog food, but very great dog food. So just to be clear here, you obviously have started to lean in a little bit more on it. How have you thought about this?
Yeah, so I was sort of, I was like a TikTok naysayer for a while, just because I think my own sort of self, belief in it. I wasn't a user. And when it comes to raw pet food, right, we're shipping a $200 to $250, not $3,000 AOV product, frozen, direct to consumer, right? So it was a channel that wasn't even worth looking at. I wasn't even on the platform. But then I saw the spillover in organic, where I'm noticing a lot of the same type of user on Facebook, where I gave this analogy to John yesterday. My wife will post something of the kids on Facebook and Instagram, same post, right? It could be my son, just got a first place trophy now at some soccer thing, right? And it's posted on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram gets no engagement. Very hard to get engagement now on Instagram in regards to comments and engagement with her followers. And on Facebook, she'll get 100 comments on it, because that older demographic isn't like the younger one, where all they're doing is swiping and scrolling and getting that quick 10 to 15 second satisfaction. So the spillover I'm seeing now on TikTok, when we started doing these office series. So if you follow our account on TikTok, it started to blow up. I'm nuts. If you guys know, anyone out there knows me, I'm pretty wild the way that I operate at work. And one of our social media girls started to take the office show and make that into like a social organic play on TikTok. So it started going viral.
Go. Yo, listen up, let me put you on game. OmniSend's got the tools and everything that they claim. Email, SMS, yeah, it's all in one. Ecom brands love it cause it gets work done. Yeah, 125K worldwide. Reviews so high, got them beaming with pride. And their stars are 4.8, no joke. Shopify back, so you know it's dope. Automation so slick, like a self-driving whip. Bring them back with a click, never losing the grip. Easy migration, yeah, that's no stress. Support so strong, got me feeling real blessed. No sneaky fees, no surprise in sight. Ain't calling it alignment just to raise the price. So if growth is the goal and sales on your mind, OmniSend's got the tools, now go get what's mine. Hit OmniSend.com today and watch your brand take off, okay? Oh yeah, and tell them Awesome sent you.
And what I noticed is our ICP was actually on it, even though that I believe that they weren't. So our ICP is anywhere from like 33 to 50-year-old women. And that's literally what we're seeing on TikTok. But the engagement rate is almost 15x Instagram, for example, where we'll get comments, we'll get people that follow the page. And that's how Instagram used to be, where you used to see a piece of content and then follow that creator. And now it's more of a swipe and scroll model. And now that spillover of older users that we're seeing on Facebook are now going to TikTok. So the TikTok demographic is definitely changing. And we're seeing it on a daily basis on these viral videos because I never believed it in the past. And that's translated into obviously sales because that's our direct ICP.
On TikTok, so our ICP is a male buyer. 35 to 55 is the sweet spot. And so we have a little over 1 million followers on TikTok, and the vast majority of them are actually our demographic, which is just wild because you wouldn't have thought that years ago.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a lot of shift happening. And then, obviously live selling becoming a really popular topic and figuring out how to scale that and stuff like that. I mean, Amer over there in his at night and on weekends, he was also known as the Drip Lord on Whatnot at one point, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about this, man. Tell us what you're seeing as evolution happening over the last 4 years.
So I'm huge on adopting early in every single channel. I think a lot of brands make a mistake. They want to sit and wait. There's a lot of indecision. I had a mentor that told me a bad decision is better than no decision. And then what a lot of brands see when they adopt early, if it doesn't work, they don't want to continue to test every 6, 9, 12 months. It didn't work once, close the book, move on, never look at that channel. So when Whatnot and live streaming started to happen, it really intrigued me because I believe that might be the new age QVC. The only difference is every single brand gets to own their own channel. And in a platform like Whatnot, it's different but then a lot of like on-site shopping. It's a marketplace. It's like an eBay, and actually eBay does now a live selling too and things like that as well. And I adopted early, and I want to figure out, one, from an agency perspective, I want to develop a relationship with Whatnot to see if they would open their APIs so we can build apps, because I had an app business at that time as well. They were fast growing and that didn't happen, but I started to play around with it, and 3.5 months, almost 4 months, I moved a little bit over $420,000 worth of product going live 2 times a week.
These are like soccer cards?
They were soccer cards, yeah. So I was just moving cards, 420,000. Now, I'll be fair and I'll be honest here. I didn't care about margin. It was more about proof of concept. And I was buying cases of cards at retail value. So I wasn't trying to scale it or do anything. It was just more about a validation. I actually think if John went live on Whatnot during COVID, your numbers would be way higher.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're the adoption. I mean, to Brian's point, it was just sports cards initially. Now,
No, it was people were.
I just didn't even know.
Yeah. Birchstones, dresses.
Yeah.
Makeup was huge and still is huge.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess that's the point. Whether it's Whatnot or TikTok, YouTube, there's a bunch of live shopping options now. I don't think, let's be real. We've been talking about live shopping in the States now for what I feel is like 8 or 9 years. And we keep talking about, oh, well, look how big China is with it, right? I don't know if we're ever going to get to the same consumer behavior of live shopping as China, but if we even get to a fraction of it, it's meaningful revenue.
Yeah, Gen Z QVC, right? That's basically what we're seeing at. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about the next one. We're talking tariff checkouts. Where you guys might have seen this viral post go off into the web, and people are scared, making reactions and decisions right now. And this company, and I hopefully they're not in this room, but this was an example of someone doing it. And so let me get a pulse on the room again. Do you think this is a good thing? Swipe right. Ooh, put right hand. No, nobody. Okay, so we're all swiping left. All right. What do you guys think? Who's got a hot take on this?
So I don't think it's a good idea right now, right? Us in general, we're kind of in a see and wait holding pattern as much as possible, right? You do have to do strategic planning 6, 9, 12 months out. But I made a post about this on LinkedIn, and I ended up I don't do it very often. I deleted the post because people were offended. Some of our partners that we do business with, and we put purchase orders in with, what was offended by it. And the thought process was, these tariffs are coming. We've got to pay for it. And their argument was, this is like, you're kind of crowdfunding. It's like, but no, like this product sits in your inventory in your warehouse already. You didn't pay tariffs on it today. I just think and I'm not going to be on a ethical high horse here, but I feel like it's just wrong. Like you don't treat your consumers that way. And I think it's a big disconnect. But FabFitFun, if anybody's used them, they've had this on there. They have a tariff line item on checkout that they've had since 2020, and no one's making a big deal of that.
Yeah, I think so. Jimmy and I we were recording yesterday at the Airbnb. We did a couple podcasts, and Jimmy and I are on the same page with this. If your business is relying upon an immediate failure in 30 days of something new and crazy as tariffs, you had a failing business to begin with, right? So for us, we're procuring anywhere from like 300 to 400 different types of raw materials in the U.S. every year. Canada, we have kangaroo. I don't know if there's any Australians in here, but we do sell kangaroo. And some products overseas. But if you're smart about, negotiating your terms and your contracts, a knee-jerk reaction such as tariff shouldn't affect you because you had a smart business model to begin with. And a lot of times in this industry, because of LinkedIn and X is a big reason of it, is we knee-jerk when we shouldn't knee-jerk, right? Same thing with COVID. A lot of people, if they just held the ship for 3 or 4 months, they would have been fine. But the issue is we try to pivot so fast, and the tariff game right now could change in 2 hours, right? It could change in 2 weeks. But if your business is relying upon this in a short amount of time, in a short amount of window, you've had a failing business to begin with.
In you're talking short window, but long window, like I don't care who you are. The reality is most people do manufacture a lot of stuff in China, and if you're going to increase price 2x, you probably don't have the economic model to sustain that. I don't think that's out of line.
Yeah, but I disagree with you completely because I don't think it's fair to tell a brand you have a failing economic model when their economic model for their business was built on the market that was active at that time. So you're going with the market, and to tell a business that
you can't run COGS on a month-to-month basis and have that.
But this is not month-to-month. Like this has been a market for the last 10, 15 years.
But every single day, these things are changing, and people are reacting and making decisions on something that could change tomorrow.
But it is not a change that can put a business or close a business's doors because there was a sudden impact and a radical change. This wasn't like, I would understand if we gave brands 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, say, hey, we're going to shift our policies and economic models in trade, so be prepared for it. Not when somebody's placing a $1 million purchase order from China, and now they're thinking, should I do it or should I not?
Here's the issue, though. Everyone who had a brain knew this was coming a year ago. Trump said he was going to do something to this extreme almost a year ago. Most folks had a very long time to have a plan B, C, or D, and they did. Figure it out.
But you're not setting new supply chain up fully in a year. I think You guys are
I mean,
both looking at it in
yeah.
slightly
I
different
mean,
ways.
maybe.
I mean, my simple thing is just raise prices.
Yeah,
I feel like that's part of the problem is that, as founders, people tend to be afraid to touch their pricing, and usually they're underpriced in the market, especially with all the inflation that's happened. And this is a perfect time to start testing those pricing models and start figuring out how to blend those margins and knowing that there might be something changing, right? And I know it's not easy. And I know, John, we've talked about this idea and it's really hard, but we've also seen, as you've talked about, John, you raised your price, you got terrified and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Fast load times like a lightning patch. Book a demo now and don't miss the deal. Get 30 days free and a 20% steal. Big shout out to Alia, an app that is revolutionizing how brands turn website visitors into loyal customers. With some of the highest performing pop-ups in ecom, Alia is helping brands ditch traditional web forms and double down on education, personalization, and conversion. We highly recommend you check out Alia at alialearn.com today and let them know Awesome sent you.
Zero change in all KPIs.
Yeah.
One thing I'll just add about to this, I saw another company talk about adding tariffs as a shipping line item too. Whether it's the way Libertyville did it or that app that suggested it, you're creating friction at checkout. My big part of this is for all the brands, you have a big following. People want to see you succeed. Communicate your hardships. They will support you. I really, really believe that. And don't have kind of surprise friction at checkout. Raise your prices. If the tariffs go away tomorrow, you can always bring your price down. Or if your ROAS and your retention, everything doesn't change, guess what? Your per office are just going to go up and you'll have a better decision to make.
Amazing. All right, let's continue on. Let's go to the next topic here. We are talking organic traffic. Who's big organic traffic fans? Raise hand. There we go. We got half the room here. And then who just loves paid ads and hates organic? Yeah, we've got some people. It's all right. It's fine, right? Everyone loves the instant gratification of paid ads versus the long term of organic traffic. I mean, let's talk about. So, what's interesting is John and Brian both have very big organic traffic. John obviously has YouTube. You got like 1 million followers on YouTube, on TikTok. This is how you guys grow, and paid ads supports a lot of the things. And this guy, Brian, grows with no ads at all, right? You guys are spending less than 1% of your revenue on ads. So let's kick it off, John. Like, tell us about, your philosophy and, the time frame that it's taken in order to get to this place.
Yeah. So, we're fortunate that we were pretty early on the organic content game. The reality is, CPMs and CACs, regardless, they keep going up for everybody, right? Every year you look at year over year on Meta, CPMs are up, CACs are up. Like, it is the way the platform operates, which is brutal. But, for us, the organic is our top of funnel, and traditional ads, even if we're making campaigns that are prospecting, end up being middle of funnel. I think with the way the CACs are going, unless, someone displaces and disrupts Meta, the Apple Evans of the world are trying, but if someone can take them over, I think it changes it. But now we're all fighting for that little bit of wallet shares. I think you have to do organic.
What about you, Brian? Brian obviously has cracked organic traffic for his company, selling a high-value AOV product, and you're doing it in such a non-traditional way. I mean, a lot of the things, if you follow Almost Pride on social, they don't talk about their product very much. They talk about everything but their product, actually. And, the office thing that he talked about earlier is just one prime example of it. But tell us about your organic strategy. Share us this, because it's a 40-year-old company, right? Multi-generational company, very much bootstrapped, right? And then, of course, you guys are not spending on ads, but you're still growing. Would you grow like 40 or 50% last year, right? Year over year. And you're doing it all through organic. So tell us about your strategy a little bit.
Yeah. So I think, we're living in an era of free distribution, and that's going to go away, right? Like, Saratoga is a great example. I don't know if someone touched upon this earlier. It's right here. Yeah. You want to talk about just one piece of content that just made a brand just explode. And it's an era of something crazy being posted, and that something crazy being posted could literally double your business overnight. So our strategy is really showcasing the people behind the product. So our products talked about a lot on the website and our landing pages, and our video content and our long form. But in organic, what the unlock that we found is the reason why TikTok is so successful is because the social consumer has now transferred the power of celebrities to our parents, maybe even us still, right? I love Jennifer Aniston. Oh my God, Billy Joel was the best. Well, now these kids, right, the younger demographic, and that's sort of transferred over to the millennial age group as well, is they love falling in love with people that remind them of themselves. That's the ultimate unlock in shopping, where if you're connecting with someone that you see a piece of their content, whether they sell a product or not, you're going to start following them. You're going to figure out what they do, right? I think we talked about Chamberlain Coffee the other day, the Gen Z superstar or whatever she was, YouTuber, starting the coffee brand, bringing her following over. But we just take our personalities within the business and showcase that in a way of, here's who we are. Our product speaks for itself. And a lot of times brands will use social to talk about their product, but that's not why we use social, right? Every time, like the way I think of it is every time I hit the airplane button on Instagram, I'm sending that to a friend. I've never once sent a friend a product, ever. It's always content that resonates with me or the person I'm sending it to. So if you're able to find, and it helps, right? We don't really outsource anything. We're all in-house, right? We manufacture everything. We procure everything. We fulfill everything right now. We're going to move to a 3PL, but for the most part, everyone's in the same building. So showcasing the people behind the brand and product was that ultimate unlock, because now, especially during economic hard times like I was talking to you about, when you build friendship and bring them into a community, your churn rate our churn rate's under 2%. So like people are not only, it's hard to take your dog off of food, but it's also hard to remove a product that you're currently subscribed for when you feel like you're a part of that product's family. So our customers feel like they're literally like working for Omas as well. And once you have that, no matter what the times are, they're always going to have your product in their house, in their dog's bowl, in their wallet, whatever your product is, because they believe in the person almost just as much as, if not more than, the product.
People want connection.
Yeah, that's why we live, right? That's why social media exists. Social media doesn't exist to sell product. It exists to connect socially. And that's what most people get wrong with social.
No, that's great. Thank you for explaining that. And if you guys want to check his social, Almost Pride is really a fun follow to just someone, even myself, someone who's looked at it for a while before I became a customer. Now I'm probably stuck until my dogs pass, and I'll probably get more dogs, and they'll keep passing and keep eating. So, Amer, someone who's worked with some of the biggest superstars like Paris Hilton and LeBron James, like these are your clients that you're working with. Obviously, very big on the organic traffic side. What do you think about when you think about organic traffic and the success that you see there?
We have brands that are like Almost Pride. We get to work with them too. Majority of their sales and revenue comes from organic, very little, and vice versa. The problem is I've been in this space for long enough to also see whether it's a Facebook or Meta or even Google change algorithms and give the shock to the systems with organic. So you can't just depend on it. Because things can happen to derail you, and you have to diversify. Just like you diversify your sales channels, you have to diversify your online organic channels as well. With LeBron's, the Billie Eilishes of the world, they don't need anything. They just send an email blast out, and sales come dripping in really, really fast. But the brands that do it well, and my big problem is we have three type of merchants that we work with. We have merchants like Brian and John that believe in it, do it regardless what happens, they keep pushing. We have merchants that talk about it and never get to it because there's always something more important. And then we have merchants who completely don't believe in it. The merchants that do best and have been consistently going through tariffs or whatever the case is are the ones that constantly do it and push it from every single channel. And those that don't and don't diversify are the ones that usually panic the most.
I mean, it's hard, right? It's not easy. I think a great example, SEO, right? Everyone knows for the most part how long SEO takes to work, and you're paying for it a day, and you're not seeing results for months. And organics, even a longer the tooth, it's a longer tail than that.
Yeah, everybody wants those results now. And obviously the dollars and cents that you put in, and it's hard to talk to your CFO or your finance person and be like, yeah, I want to go spend all this dollars and we may not see anything for 6, 12, 18 months, but it will be worth it. But I do think that, some of the things that you're seeing, especially as we're seeing paid ads and dollars changing right now in the market, like building some effort in there is really important and trying to find your path into the market. All right. Next one here, we're going to be talking about AI. Who's bullish on AI? Raise hand. Yeah.
Everybody.
Who hates AI and thinks they're Terminator taking over the world? All right, we got a handful. All right, it's cool, right? We want to think about it. I think, obviously watching all the evolution this last, what it was, a week ago, 2 weeks ago with ChatGPT with the image generation, the internet was flooded with images that people were creating. And now I can't get away from an AI image anymore. What do you guys think about it, John? I'm going to start with you guys at the brand level. Like, how are you guys utilizing AI and how do you guys see it? Do you guys embracing it?
Yeah, so, I would say our marketing team probably embraces it a little bit more. We're all trying, right? For us, it's more about how do we do our job more efficiently. And I think that's where a lot of brands and a lot of B2B messes up too, is that it's not necessarily, it's about that. It's how do you enhance? How do you increase your output 5x, right? And not rely fully, like AI is not going to do your job for you, right? Like, and I posted those AI sales emails that I was getting where like the prompt matters, right? Like this prospect is not spending time on the prompt and it's, garbage in, garbage out. But if you utilize it correctly, it can just increase your efficiency so much.
How about you, Brian? I mean, you love AI images. I mean, you were doing them before, and you were actually pretty good at it before when they used to spit out things with misspellings and funny things. You were actually really good at the prompt.
Yeah, so I can't really be a help to brands here because I mainly use it for my LinkedIn posts just to be funny. But on the brand level, to be honest with you, not a lot, a little bit. I don't know. We're very old school, man. We're just like, who was up here? Will from IQ Bar. Like our motto is just sell more pet food, make more money, and just do that. And like that, when he was up here, it's like, oh, we're just trying to sell more bars. That's how sort of we are at work with AI. It's like people spend more time trying to figure out AI than how much time AI saves them. I just feel that like outside looking in, and that all the SaaS companies and agencies in the room. I'm sorry, but everyone has AI powered something, and it's like, all right, dude, what do we got going on here? But for the most part, our philosophy is let's just get to work, dude. I mean, people were building 9, 10-figure businesses long before the internet, let alone AI. We just figure it out at OMAs and just don't spend time worrying about saving time.
I know you're shaking your head over here. Disagree.
I mean, what do you want from me?
Tell me, Aaron. Tell me what you think.
And it's not because it's Brian, I promise. It's because you're wrong. No, I'm being serious. So here's my thing. I cold-heartedly believe...
Can we take a quick time out here? That was pretty rude.
That was quite honest.
That was really rude.
This was... Antoinette said I was a nice one, by the way. I don't know where she is, but clearly I am.
Just keep going.
But I have to defend my brands. Don't I have the right to do that?
Go ahead.
I love you.
I'm sure this speech is powered by AI.
No, on a serious note, I feel this is our industrial revolution. I believe this is our .com moment. And I believe if people don't grow up with AI, it's going to evolve really, really fast. And is going to become for my parents who think I can build computers because I build websites, you're going to get lost in the technology. And if you keep up with it, you don't have to be an expert, but if you read about it, if you invest some time in it, you're going to be leaps ahead in a couple of years. I look at AI, this is a little bit funny. I don't have kids, so I don't want to offend any parents, but it's like raising a kid. And if you don't keep an eye on your kid, you're going to let the schools, the environment, whomever else take that kid over. You need to embrace that kid, raise it, and know how you're going to grow up with it when you culture it. One of the things I did...
but then it's going to kill us later.
I'm sorry? One of the things that I did with my team, we have a team of 135 people. I don't know how brilliant every single person is. We have introverts, extroverts. I don't get to talk to everyone. So we created a bounty in the organization. I went on the Slack channel and said, hey, whomever finds a way to save time, build efficiencies, create value for our brands, you guys are going to get a bounty bonus for everything that we implement. And we're going to have hackathons from Thursday to Sunday where they're going to get paid overtime to bring those ideas and realities to life. That is going to save us a ton of time. I built shared it with these guys up here. I built a social tool for LinkedIn using a platform, if you guys don't know about it, it's called Replit. It took me about 6 hours to build it and deploy it and start using it. I went to my head of technology, gave him the brief, showed him the platform, and said, hey, I really like this platform. I don't want to pay for it. How long will it take you to do it? They went through it, came back a few days later. They said 6 weeks.
And you did it in 6 hours?
6 hours.
Future is here.
That's why we hire Pro is building our new website right now. That's why we hire you, and I don't have to worry about AI.
Oh, true. I'll take that.
Stands for AI.
Win-win.
All right, folks. With that, that is a wrap here. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We release episodes every Thursday, so check us out at ASOMPod.com, and thank you guys very much.
Welcome to the Awesome Pod, where we talked a lot. Ecom was the path that we walked a lot. But now the question is, will you subscribe or not?